We built weighing scales, but eventually we started to get more and more into tabulating type of equipment that started to count things. And the original Social Security system and all that stuff was based on these tabulating systems that counted individuals. Initially it was census information. All of that stuff were these mechanical devices that counted things, and they punched things on cards, right? Most people's first introduction to a computer, at least of my age, was on these little 80 by 20 or 80 by 40 cards, right? And little holes were punched in those cards, and that was data, right? This idea, you'll hear people in the industry and communities talk about data warehouses. The original data warehouses were a big building with boxes full of cards, right? That was the idea. The cards just got stacked up over time. And in the late 1940s, an IBM researcher was listening to a new invention of someone who had recorded human voice on magnetic tape. I think it was a 3M tape. And it was a singer, it was Bing Crosby or one of the crooners of the time. And the researcher thought about it and said, if they can put voice on tape, I can put data on tape, right? And that simple decision was a hard decision for IBM because we made a lot of money on those cards. But we decided to move to the future, and we did that. We put the information on magnetic tape. To read the magnetic tape, you started to need electronic devices. And that was the ushering in of the electronic computer age in the 1950s, the UNIVAC systems, and then moving up to the early IBM mainframe systems in the early 60s. That became the foundation for pretty much everything we do today. Our bank systems, the government systems, the tax systems, all of that stuff is based on that technology. And that's really what we call the programmable systems era. So it was no longer about mechanical devices that counted things. It was about a system that knew how to have a program run on it that could take data, process the data, and give you an output. That's what they did. Simple as a calculator would be a simple form of it. But the idea is it's a program that takes an input, processes it, and gives you an output, right? Those are programmable systems. Your smartphone, your iPhone, is a programmable system, right? It's just very mobile, right? It has a pretty screen on it. And it's connected to everything over this magical thing called wireless. But in essence, it's the same thing. We've just been kind of iterating and improving these systems, making them smaller and smaller, smarter and smarter, and more powerful over time. And that's what we've been doing. What's happening now is all of this data is starting to break down those ideas of programs, right? And so there's a new era of systems that are starting to come in that we're calling cognitive systems. And cognitive means the idea of mental processes of perception, memory, judgment, learning, and